Good morning. Thanks for joining in. I'm meteorologist Ashley Ruiz. We are going live from Facebook right now on the BR Proud Facebook along with my own Facebook page, and I'm just going to take 1 minute to make sure we are up and rolling. Yesterday, if you tuned into our live stream on Facebook, it cut off after a few minutes. Not sure why, but I think we are good to go. So what we're going to be discussing today a lot, actually, we are looking at showers and thunderstorms mainly to our west of the BR Proud area, closer to Acadiana this morning. Lafayette was seeing a few showers and thunderstorms. Krotz Springs just to the east actually seeing some heavier rain. Livonia up in Melville as well. Heads up to Morganza, you're going to get some heavy rain soon. Same for New Roads, and not seeing much in the way of lightning. May have some gusty winds in excess of 30 miles per hour, but at the moment we're not seeing anything in the way of severe weather. Now closer to our west along the Louisiana-Texas state line, we have some heavier rainfall, and then near Houston we're seeing some heavier rainfall as well, and just in East Texas. Beaumont's going to get some heavy rain shortly, whereas the New Orleans and Baton Rouge Metro, we're pretty much staying dry as of right now, but just to our west and to our northwest, that's where we have some heavier rain. And our rain chance today is not going to be as high as it was just yesterday. In fact, pretty much everyone got some form of precipitation, at least some accumulation. Also, if you are watching on Facebook, comment below, say where you're watching from, whether that's here in Louisiana, Mississippi, or if you're watching elsewhere. We'd love to have you chime in, and I'll go back and read some of your comments. But as of right now, the Storm Prediction Center has placed us under a marginal risk for severe weather. This was new as of early this morning. We weren't under marginal risk until just earlier this morning, and that stretches all the way from Acadiana to northeast Florida and Jacksonville, and then southern Georgia as well, stretching almost all the way up to I-20. And this is just going to be for some damaging winds when some of these storms from Texas start to fire up and move more to the east. So we'll be monitoring these throughout the day. My main concern with these storms that flare up today and this evening will still be heavy rain. Yesterday, some areas saw, or our area as a whole saw between 1 and 3 inches of rainfall. That was on average, but of course we had some higher amounts. Just in far eastern Homa, there was reports of some flooding, some houses flooding. There was a flash flood emergency for portions of Terrebonne Parish and Lafourche Parish late last night. For me at least. It was yesterday evening. Again, today we have that marginal risk for severe weather for damaging wind, but again, main concern will be some heavy rain, perhaps some frequent lightning here and there. And looking at the HRRR model, this has been the most, I would say, on point model for today. All models were pretty much showing all of South Louisiana staying dry today. This one's starting to pick up on current trends and what may occur a little later, showing some wet weather. Again, I mentioned that we'd likely see some rain move in from Texas. That will likely be the case. You see these thunderstorms, those are most likely those thunderstorms I showed you in East Texas. They'll likely make their way into western Louisiana and then approaching the I-49 corridor. Maybe later tonight. This particular model shows, I'll back it up, shows just some passing rain for our western parishes, and then some light rain, maybe moderate at best for far southeastern Louisiana, including the New Orleans metro, and then perhaps late tonight we'll see some showers and thunderstorms. Going forward into our Friday, we'll likely still have some rain in the area, although rain chances will be lower. Let me back that up because it lost its data. There we go. Heading into Friday afternoon, notice the bulk of the rain looks to stay to our north, and we have several things going on. The Saharan dust, that has officially moved into South Louisiana, and this is current look of it. And you can see that these shadows of of where the dust currently is. That includes portions of the Florida Panhandle and then into southwest Alabama, even south central Alabama, southeast Mississippi, and then pretty much covering South Louisiana right now. This morning could barely see the sun. It was barely peeking through, and you could actually look at the sun. I don't advise that, obviously, but I took a photo of the sun and you can just kind of see the blue orb because of some of that, the dust particles that are starting to move in. Now, live tower cam, you can't really see much. This is overlooking downtown Baton Rouge, and check out that temperature, 83 degrees, but it feels like 92 degrees. We'll hit the mid 80s, maybe some upper 80s out there, but overall it's going to feel like the mid and upper 90s. We just have a lot of humidity in place. As for the Saharan dust forecast, as of right now, we have some dust that is visible. You'll be able to, if we can see some breaks in the clouds, you'll be able to see a colorful sunset this evening, but more so tomorrow we'll have more dust in place, and keep in mind this is thousands of feet in the air, but we'll still be able to see it. It's going to create a hazy, milky looking sky, but it is also going to likely lead to lower air quality. This is Friday. Keep that in mind. So here's the date. That's showing Friday, and notice how bright the white is. That is showing more or higher concentrations of the dust particles of the Saharan air layer that will be focused in on the south, and that includes a good portion of the south as well. Going forward into our Saturday, notice the dust is starting, or the Saharan air layer is starting to move more to our east. So we may be clear from the dust or still have some haze, but most of it will be to our east and even possibly to our west. So this is looking like it will suppress some of our rain chances. It's going to act as a lid essentially to the atmosphere, but it's not going to completely dry us out. So our rain chances will be lower tomorrow, but not zero, increasing once again as we head into Saturday. Rain chances for now, this may change, keep this in mind, may have to go up a little bit, around 40% on Saturday, maybe 40, 50%, and then 50% on Sunday. Next week, we're back to the 90s, and it's going to feel like the triple digits. If you have plans to head out on the boat over the next few days, let me get the boat forecast for you. This is out 20 nautical miles basically from Grand Isle, and then our area lakes, Lake Maurepas and Lake Pontchartrain, and the lakes, the wave heights will be around 1 foot or less for the next few days, but out on the seas, out 20 nautical miles, 2 to 4 feet, and a wind out of the south between 10 and 15 knots with rain chances a little lower on Friday. As I mentioned, it's going to be very hazy though, so something to keep in mind, visibility may be a little low. Going forward into Saturday, around 40%. I did have a few people ask about what is the beach going to look like with some of the haze moving in. Well, it's still going to look a little milky. You'll still most likely get a tan too, so no worries about that. Also, I wanted to kind of revisit on some of the storm reports from the National Weather Service that we had. We had numerous tornado warnings here in the BR Proud viewing area yesterday morning, and then yesterday afternoon. We had a few tornado warnings spread out, but there was a confirmed tornado near the Point Coupee Parish and the West Baton Rouge Parish line, and it was on video. I shared it on my Facebook page. You may have seen it. And it had caused damage to some sugarcane fields. That's per the National Weather Service. Other folks have said that there was other damage as well. The National Weather Service issued their summary on that. Also, they confirmed late last night that the one tornado that touched down just near the service road near Essen off I-10 was an EF1 tornado, max wind of 110 miles per hour. And in fact, that is a stronger EF1 tornado. That's at the top of an EF1 tornado. If it were 115 miles per hour, it would have been declared an EF2. It stayed on the ground for 3.5 miles, and here are some of the summary reports. This is from the National Weather Service. They're thinking it touched down around 4:47 and then caused some damage, which we have a whole post on our website, and in fact it's right at the top of the page on brproud.com. Most of the significant damage was to staffing buildings. That was just near Essen, and then a vehicle was lifted and tossed onto I-10. And when I read that, I mean, I do weather and traffic, and if it were a little later in the morning, this could have been much, much worse. It caused minor damage to Westminster Elementary and then the neighborhood damage as well, and then it finally lifted near Old Hammond Highway just east of Sherwood Boulevard. And they're talking about possibly doing more surveys around the area as well. Again, we had numerous tornado warnings. If you are just joining us, again, type where you're watching from, and I'll go back and read some of your comments and chime in with you guys. But just to kind of recap everything, our rain chances are still pretty elevated. You can see around the area, going to vary pretty much. Baton Rouge around 60% today, Lafayette around 80%. They've already seen some rain, and then closer to New Orleans, maybe a little lower, but these are just coming from our computer models, and they plot as more data comes in. But either way, we are seeing this one little line that kind of fanned out, this little gust front, it looks like, moving a small scale feature, just moving in from the Gulf of Mexico. And then it moved through Jennings, moved through Lafayette, Opelousas, Fort Polk, and now it's starting to fan out a little bit toward New Roads, and likely producing some, I would say, moderate to heavy rain now. I mean, it's moving along. So Morganza, it's crossing the Mississippi River as we speak. St. Francisville, heads up, you're going to get some rain. Not seeing any lightning on our Doppler radar. However, if you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. So that, and it's also Lightning Awareness Week. And again, if you hear thunder, you are definitely close enough to be struck by lightning. Also, Gross Tate seeing some light showers. But again, I'll run through the FUTURECAST one more time, and I'm just going to stress it. The FUTURECAST, all of our models, the NAM, the GFS, the HRRR, even our RPM models struggled terribly with rain coverage today, saying we were going to be bone dry. And as we see it now, we're getting clipped by that one little line of showers. If the line out west near Texas kind of holds together and we can get some lift in the atmosphere, we'll be able to see some showers and storms move in, maybe weakening as they push through. But either way, I would plan on at least some wet weather this afternoon, evening. But as you saw, rain chances aren't going to be as high as they were yesterday, and we have that marginal risk for severe weather. So I'll show you that one more time, and keep in mind we have that flash flood watch in effect until this evening, where we could see bouts of heavy rain that could lead to some ponding on the roads, low-lying areas that are prone to flooding. You are the most vulnerable with any of these thunderstorms that develop, because they can pack a punch and dump several inches of rain before they exit your area. So something to keep in mind, plan accordingly, and download the free BR Proud app while you're at it. It's free. It's a good tool to have. Yesterday morning, when we had all the thunderstorms, and even during the afternoon, we had push alerts on. As soon as warnings or watches or alerts are issued, you will get them sent to your phone. Also, while you're at it, just stay weather aware. We know weather's always changing here in South Louisiana, but if you have this app, you'll be able to check out the radar. And I posted a story on the Saharan dust, what to expect, which I'll go over that one more time. With the Saharan dust, I also want to kind of stress this, because I've seen some funny memes on the internet about the Saharan dust, thinking that it was a dust storm. It's not a dust storm. This happens every year. The only difference between this year and previous years is the concentration of the Saharan air layer that moved through the Bahamas and then moved through the Caribbean, which I'm sure you've seen pictures from Puerto Rico and other Caribbean islands where visibility was very low. And that's some of the highest concentration of dust that they have seen in years, in decades. It most likely won't have that high of concentration by the time it is fully over us, but it will still impact our area with hazy, milky skies, again, lower air quality. Going to the lower air quality, I was checking out Air Now. This is where we check out to see what the air quality is going to be. And as of right now, currently we usually don't see moderate pollutants at this time, but with the dust, the Saharan air layer moving in already, we're already seeing the moderate air quality. And then tomorrow, they currently don't even have us under code orange just yet, but that could change. So you can always find the latest right here on brproud.com, BR Proud Facebook page and all of that, and then we'll be able to walk you through. And again, you can download the app. I have it on my phone here, and I have a whole story about it, who it could impact if, say, if you have asthma, or you have chronic bronchitis, you have COPD, or even if you are suffering from COVID-19, this could impact you. So limit your time outdoors Friday and Saturday, and we'll be able to know what's going on a little more as it pushes into South Louisiana. But you can always stay up to date with us, brproud.com, again, right here on Facebook. And then, again, you can find the BR Proud app. So stay weather aware today, and if you have any questions, just type below in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. Stay safe, stay weather aware, and we'll see you later.